Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky194, and I appreciate you taking the time to visit and check out my video. And I'm just showing some highlights here, the low fuel motorsports here at IMOLA, the 45-minute race. I was on outside pole in the BMW there, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name, but I'll just call him O. He is on the pole there, very, very fast, man. He had a 140.9 or something on his pole for his time, so he was super fast. In my book anyway. For me, I ran a really good time for me, so I'm really happy with it. With the BMW, I ran a 141.75 was my qualifying time. So for me, that's right, got to be near my personal best. I'd have to look it up to find out, but I know it's got to be really close. If it isn't my personal best, so that's pretty good for me since I've been struggling here since the update. So I'm trying to find a few little, get my pace back a little bit for IMOLA here. And again, I'm just going to show a few laps, and it really was. I mean, it was an okay race, but it really wasn't a lot of action. So I mean, I didn't think of showing the whole race because it really just kind of just drove around and nobody really made any big mistakes. I mean, I give props to everybody because, I mean, I think you'll see one guy go off the track, it's in the grass and stuff like that, and I think one guy crashed a little bit, but he kept going. But I don't think anybody dropped out. I don't think there's any major things going on. So it was actually a really, clean race, so great job to everybody for that. And so I was happy with a clean start and everything else. But yeah, I mean, he's already pulling away from me. So you can see him right there. He's just, pulling away. Like I said, he was fast and consistent, and he was definitely had it hooked up. So there's the first lap. We are going to go skip up to coming up to lap 14, and so we're getting halfway through the race. You can see my fastest is a 142.26. So here it's about the only action there was, and it wasn't even really action, to be honest with you. But it was just the only thing that happened. Had a guy come out. They were making their pit stops, so they were starting to come out. I almost outbroke myself here. I went way, way too deep. Messed my whole lap up doing that, but at least I didn't wreck. Just being stupid, missed my whole brake marker and everything. But anyway, the Audi came out from the pits, and so some of these other guys were coming out. You see, I moved up to first because he's moved to sixth because he made an earlier pit stop. So I basically just stayed out, and I was running decent times, nothing great, but I just figured I'd just stay out, and, keep going. So. The car was very consistent. I was happy with it. It was a lot more consistent than I was. So definitely need to, I need to improve on that. It was really good through here. That guy went off there. That's one of the few guys that went off. Hardly anybody. I hardly ever saw a yellow flag. I don't even remember even seeing one. And he had a little problems through that chicane, which who doesn't? I mean, I have problems through there too. It's easy to go through there and get jostled around or whatever. So I got around him, and I think I came in the next lap. I think I came in for my pit stop. Of course, then he got back around me and took back over the lead. So we will go and show. I don't want to go that far back. Jump in the car here. now my fast is 142.15. Of course, if you didn't hear it on my other video, I go over a week ago. It's longer than a week now, about a week and a half ago, before my wife slipped on the ice and had that accident and fractured her pelvis. Her and I went and test drove M4. So M4 competition with the 8-speed in it. It was really nice. Really enjoyed it. I've never driven a BMW before, so other than a virtual. So it was really nice though. Had power. Really, man, had great power. Everything just solid. I mean, no rattles. It was stiff. It was kind of stiff, but I mean, it's an M4 competition. I mean, that's what it's going to be. So, but it was a very nice car. Very nice. So got nice prices too. See, I'm in second. Let's see. That was my fast lap, and that was a 141.96. Just barely tipped the end of my toe into 141s. So, but at least I got there. And I finished second. So that was we finished that way in second place. So, and he won the race, which is congratulations to him. He did a great race. I mean, had a great pace and consistency. So I will, again, we'll go over the setup and finish out the video. So I'll be right back. So hey everybody, we're back, and I did a little bit more driving with it. So let's go over the setup and talk about it. I got 26.3 left front, 25.5 right front, 26.1 left rear, and 25.6 right rear. The toe is a negative 0.15 on the front, with the camber at negative 3.6 and the caster at 9.5. On the rear, the toe is 0.01 with the camber at negative 3.1. Any adjustments here? You can go up a negative camber here. Maybe you could go up, to negative 3.8. I don't think it would make any real difference. I didn't see any major difference. I just didn't like the way it drove. So, but that's at your discretion. Everything else was pretty much really good. Electronics, I got 3, 3, and 1. Of course, fuel, I tested it with 80 liters. Of course, in the race, I started with 60, and then I put another 28 in it, and that was more than enough. That's even, extra. So, and you can see the wear here. It's really good. It's very close, a little bit more towards the rear, which is fine. I don't mind that at all. So I'm really, really happy with the wear, and it was good in the race also. But yeah, no graining, no nothing. Mechanical, got 4 on the anti-roll bar, 53 on the brake bias, and you can go down to 52 or even a little more than that if you need to. This is the springs that I ran in the race. 150,000 in the front with 135,000 in the rear. Now, if I did test it with this here, one click down all the way around. I did test it. Now, if you're a person that, driving here at IMOLA and you like running over these curbs really pretty good, on the sausages and all that, you might want to try this. To me, I didn't really, if there is a performance gain, I don't think I really didn't feel it. Maybe a slower corners that maybe felt a little bit better. It definitely was a little better over the sausages and things like that. So if you want, if you run over them pretty good and things like that, you might want to go over, make the adjustment and one click down on all these springs, and I think you'd probably be a little bit happier with it. But performance-wise, I really didn't see any gain. I can't really say I lost any, but I definitely didn't gain any, that's for sure. It's so close that it's minuscule. So the bump stop rate is 500. The bump stop range is 10. on the front, and on the rear, the bump stop rate is 400, and the bump stop range is 28. Oh, actually, it's 30. 30. I turned it down a little bit, making some adjustments with the softer springs. I was turning the bump stop rate down a little bit, or the range, since it's going with some softer springs, so it wouldn't bottom out. Any roll bar got 4, and the preload on the diff is 80. Shocks on the front are 13, 3, 27, and 4. And on the rear, they're 9, 2, 19, and 4. Aero got 54 in the front, 64 in the rear with a 7 rear wing and a 4 and a 4 in the brake ducts. And the front aero variation is a 1.6 to the positive. So again, as far as the ride heights here, I would not go any lower than this at all. If you want, you can go one click up, but I definitely would not go down. So if you think you need a little bit more clearance, you can try that and just go one click up. It's going to drop this down to 1.2. So that's at your discretion. I mean, you can take the one click of wing out of it and do it that way, and it'll put it right back up. So you can try that and see if it works for you. But I like the extra wing, especially down in that bowl area, and so it doesn't slide out really bad and things like that, especially when you're really hard on the brakes. So, and mile an hour wise, it don't make a difference. I wouldn't even say I don't even know there's a 1 mile an hour difference between 6 and 7 as far as the wing. I've tried it, and if you get a half a mile an hour, you're probably lucky if you get more than that and on that front straightaway. So to me, it wasn't worth it. So again, I'd rather have that and be strong everywhere else, and have the wing to where it's you can attack and be aggressive on the brakes and all those kinds of things. So again, like I said, 55 on the front, 64 in the rear, 7 rear wing, and 4 on the brake ducts. So again, brake ducts you need to adjust accordingly with the temperatures. In case these are always for mid-20s. So if you need to adjust tires and brake ducts, do that accordingly. But like I said, I think it's really solid, and one of my better times here at IMOLA, which is okay, even though it's a weak track, it's an okay time. And I sure hope it works for you. It's really stable, really drivable. I mean, so it's not like it's on near even razor's edge or anything. So I think you'll like it. And I sure hope you give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. All that kind of support is great, and it really helps the channel and all the YouTube stuff. My small little channel, and I would love it if you could share it or anything like that. And all the feedback and comments, I love it. I love talking to all my friends. So I always enjoy that. So I sure hope you come back and visit again really soon. Y'all take care. See ya.